Greetings and welcome to part 2 of the Baritone Euphonium series and even in a pinch Tuba series. Again, we're using essential elements. Right now we're on page 6. We're going to look at numbers 14 through 19, and this encompasses the white belt of using band karate. So last time we talked about how to hold the instrument and using your fingers, 1, 2, 3, no doubling up fingers like that. Every finger has its own place. We talked about that great embouchure, that firm corners, flat chin, pointy chin, buzzing to get that beautiful sound. And we learned our first 5 notes. Now at the top of page 6, you notice it has a notes in review. So this has the first 5 notes that you've learned. It goes F, E flat, D, C, and B flat. Love this chart because not only does it have the note names there, it has where it is on the musical staff and the fingering, okay, the valves that you're going to use for that. Remember we also talked about for figuring out your notes, in this chart it may not be handy, good boys do fine always for the 5 lines, and then the spaces in between the lines, all cows eat grass, A, C, E, and G. Number 14 in your book, actually before we get to 14, let's talk about the 5-note scale. On your band karate sheet, you have the 5-note scale as your first thing for your white belt. To do your 5-note scale, you're going to start on the lowest note you learned, the B flat. You're going to go up to the F, and then you go back down to B flat, and that is your 5-note scale. So if you're looking at the notes in review, that's starting on the last note, going backwards to the F, and then going back down to the B flat. Let me demo. That is your 5-note scale. Now your next white belt song is Rolling Along, number 14. Mary Had a Little Lamb. So let's look at the notes first. So I'm going to go D, C, D, C, D, 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 rest. C, 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 rest. D, F, F, rest. D, C, E, C, D, 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 rest. C, C, D, C, B. 2-liner. Underneath number 14, there's another orange box, and it shows you a picture of a half note. A half note looks like a quarter note, except it's not filled in. Okay, it's white on the inside. It's open. When you see a half note, it means that you're going to play that note longer for 2 beats. So if your beat is this, a quarter note would be. Half notes would be. You also have a half rest. A half rest is 2 beats of silence. It looks like a hat on top of the middle line, the 3rd line there. It's the equivalent of having 2 quarter rests, just 2 beats of silence. Let's take a look at number 17. We'll go back to 16 in a minute. But we have Hot Cross Buns, which is pretty important to play. It's also our last white belt song. So Hot Cross Buns, notice that we start off with a half note D, go to a half note C, then a half note B flat. Then we have a half rest, 2 beats of silence. Then we have D, C, B. Half rest. Then we have 4 quarter note Bs, 4 quarter note Cs, then a half note D, half note C, half note B, half rest. Half rest. Half rest. Half rest. Number 16 is a good exercise to do too. So let's take a look at that one. 16, the half counts goes B, 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 C, half rest, D, 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 E, half rest, F, E, D, C, B, half rest, repeat. There's a repeat sign, the 2 little dots next to the double bar there. I'm only going to play it one time though. Half rest. Half rest. Number 18 is another really good one I like to do, called Go Tell Aunt Rhody. Above it, it talks in the orange box about a breath mark. Looks like a comma. It says, take a deep breath through your mouth after you play a full-length note. So basically, take that diving breath that we talked about in the first video, and it's a good place to breathe. Okay, we don't want to breathe after every note, because it would sound like this. The better place to breathe would be where you see the comma. Don't feel bad if you can't play those full 2 measures before each breath. Breathe when you need to, but we're getting you into the idea of not breathing after every single note. Another thing you'll notice that I'm doing is my notes sound very crisp and clear because I'm using my tongue. It's called articulation or tonguing. You can hear that ta or that ta. Try that. It goes. The tip of your tongue is tapping the back of your top teeth to get that beautiful sound. Young players will often not use their tongue. They will just use what's called an air attack. We're going. But it's slow, it's clumsy, and it doesn't sound very good. So we want to use our tongue to get those lovely sounds. Have a listen to Go Tell Aunt Rhody if I'm huffing or using an air attack. Now hear when I'm using the tongue, the t at the beginning of every note. See how clear and clean that is. So practice using that articulation. You can even do it on the mouthpiece. Or you can walk around the house going. You can play a lot faster with your tongue. For instance, as fast as I can play with an air attack would be. It doesn't sound very good. But with my tongue, I can eventually go really, really fast with that. So that is the white belt. Keep on playing. Remember to practice every single day for about 20 minutes to do your very, very best. We'll see you for the yellow belt one next.